Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. Who are you? I am your doctor. I am your host, Dr. Leah, as usual. And it is Friday and it is exciting because we are going to get to meet a wonderful lady. She's so powerful. We're going to get to know her journey, who she is, what she does, how she does it. We are going to see some sun. We are going to be in New York City. Yay! And what's amazing about her is I loved her profile when I saw it. Her journey was very motivating, was very empowering, and I'm very sure it's going to resonate with a lot of people because we always get stuck on where we are coming from or situations that we have gone through. And she had a journey that, she quickly knew what she wanted and she didn't allow voices and people speak her out of it. So we are going to really get a lot of information, a lot of nuggets that is going to grow us, is going to strengthen us. And I'm looking forward to bring her so that I don't take all her introduction, so she can speak to us and give us all that she has for us today. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Okay, great. Same here.
I am so happy. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Thank you so much. And I'm so honored to be hosting you today because I know that you're going to really share with us a journey that is, maybe there's so many people who have gone through this journey, but they're still stuck because they don't know what next, where next. How can I come up? And your story is going to really motivate them. It's going to really, give them a push. It's going to definitely impact a lot of people. And that is why I was so happy to have you on my show, to have you come and empower some people and get us excited to move into our next level. So I will not take a lot of time. Tell us, who is Naomi? Introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Naomi Mamiye, and today I am one of the leading healthcare designers in the United States, meaning I travel across the states designing hospitals, medical centers, nursing homes, drug rehab centers, everything in that field is what I specialize in. And I'm doing this now for 15 years. But I had a rough start in life. My mother got skin cancer when I was 10, and she died when I was 12. My father got remarried, and my stepmother didn't want me. So I went to live with one set of grandparents, and then over there, my grandfather got sick with cancer. So then I went and I moved to the other set of grandparents, and over there, my grandmother got sick with cancer.
Wow.
And then I went back and forth, and then the other grandfather, and then the other grandmother, and so during my teenage years, I went through 6 different cancer patients, and they all, passed away on me. So I was in a desperate situation at the age of 19. I wanted some stability and a home of my own. So I rushed to get married, and it was to the wrong person. So years later, I found myself with 4 little kids, divorced, 4 little kids, and nobody to help me, not a mother to give me a helping hand, nobody to help me financially. I was really lost and alone. And I was always very creative. So when guests used to come to my house, they used to take pictures of my rooms and always, compliment me on my style. And it never dawned on me to monetize on it until I was at rock bottom and I needed a way to support my family. So I came up with this idea. Hey, I'll do interior design. You don't need any any money to invest to advise people on which floor to use, which paint colors to use. It requires no backing, just talent. So when I told this idea to my ex-husband, he started laughing at me that nobody's going to pay me for my arts and crafts. So I took that as fuel to push myself and prove him wrong. At the same time, my very close friend also was not encouraging. And there was, at the Jacob Javits Center in New York City, the big convention center, there was a design show at that time. And I went with my bags, walking around from booth to booth to booth, collecting everybody's information. And by the end of the day, I couldn't even carry those bags anymore. They were so heavy. But my friend turned to me, and instead of pushing me and encouraging me, she said, like, what are you doing? Like, who do you think you're going to design for? So instead of letting that bring me down, I actually put a sign in my closet. And every time I opened my closet, I had a sign there that said, show Ricky, show Ricky. I needed shoes. Every time I opened my closet, I had pow. I got that boost, to prove everybody wrong. Because many people get some people discourage them, and that's it. Like they let it bring them down.
Yes.
And it's a big mistake, because you should use it as your fuel. Push yourself ahead and show the world what you can do.
Yes. You said you moved from one home to another because you were here at one of your grandparents' home, and there was a cancer, then again to another grandparent, and then tell us, how did you heal from that? And I know you said you ended up, because of all this, you ended up getting married, and then you get divorced. You ended up with 4 little kids. And how did you work this healing process for you? Even though you knew, I still have to show people I can do it, because they're discouraging me. They are they look at me and they see I can do nothing. I can become nothing. I can accomplish nothing, because they think, okay, she was codependent, or all those kind of characteristics. How did you heal from all that, even in that journey when you began to build your healthcare design company?
Right. So for many, many years of my life, until I decided to make that switch, I was very down and very upset at life and upset at God. Like another person with cancer. Oh my God, you must be like, even my father, when my father got sick and died, he was like the last of this, the 6 immediate family members that died from different cancers. He said, like, oh, come, when he got his diagnosis, he also was like, oh, come on, again, like, how many times can one family suffer again, the same disease over and over in different versions, and so there was a lot of like anger and sadness, and why me, and this is not fair. Why all of them in my, like, can't you just scatter it around? Why everything me? So, and I actually, like, I make a joke about this all the time, but it's very true. I spent like my teenage years just crying to Air Supply songs, and I would rewind in my head over and over. Like when my mother was sick when I was 10 years old, I actually, when she became sick, I was very angry at her. I stopped talking to her. and I was like, like I didn't, I was 10 years old. I didn't understand. That why would she get sick on me and ruin my life and ruin my routine and no more family dinners and no more family vacations, and my whole life was just turned upside down. And I was so angry at her for doing that to me. But it was years later that I opened my eyes and I realized that I would not become who I am today if, let's say, if my mother was still alive. I would be some coddled, spoiled brat. I would be the princess that I was growing up. Like my whole princess life came like crashing down, like a level. I mean, just like another death, and then like to nothing. Nobody to spoil me. So, so I came to the point where I have to, where I learned to trust my journey, and I wouldn't be the strong person I am today if I still was, if these people probably were still alive. Each death, each experience just, made me stronger and stronger as a person. I actually saw, and I quote this all the time, but it did so much for me. I watched a commencement address by Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs was explaining to the crowd of college students, not to get down when you get a life disappointment, not to let it knock you down. He was explaining his story, how he got fired from Apple, his own company. Okay, he got fired many years ago, and he thought it was like the worst thing, and he was crushed because it was his baby, it was his company that he started from scratch, and he got fired from his own company. That's like unheard of, and hurtful, very hurtful. But he went on afterwards to start Pixar, which is the greatest animation studio, for movies. And he says if he never got fired from Apple, Pixar would never have been born. It would never. One thing had to happen, and then years later, and then he got rehired by Apple.
Yes.
So he's like, like these things that he thought were like the worst thing to happen to him. So many good things came from it. So I came to understand from that I don't understand why all these bad things keep happening, but I have to trust that there is a reason, and I'm going to grow from it, and I'm going to learn from it. I might not realize, I might understand it in a week. I might understand it in 20 years from now. It might all make sense to me why it had to happen. But instead of it letting it bring me down and me get, like to deal with the situation and understand this is happening for a reason, and this crushing situation will pass. Like the famous quote, "This too shall pass." Like this situation I'm in that I think like is the end of the world, and like how am I going to get out of this? It's going to pass also. And and I will learn and I will grow from it, and there is some kind of reason. But I'm not understanding it, but I'm going to trust that there is a reason why I'm going through this.
Yes. And what I like what you've just said, sorry to have interrupted you, the trust that there is a reason why something is happening. And we have Annette Pecheo, she's watching from the States, and she said, yes, it's happening for a reason. And only haters, they motivate you, they elevate you, and the fire refines you so you can come out, like gold. And how you didn't understand everything. And you said something about if your mom would have been around, you'd have been spoiled. So you wouldn't even have ever understood how to, to be able to do everything because you'd have had everything. And I like when you say that because they were not there, it also pushed you to become who you are today. because there was nobody, there was only you.
Right.
And if you would have not pushed up, then you, only you, would have remained where you are. And just hold on to that point like that. We will make a short break. And when we come back, we're going to hear more from Naomi. She's going to talk to us about how she began her healthcare design. I'm so honored because this is something that is beautiful, it is new, and it is from her experience that she began to do this. And you can imagine the people who are in these hospitals or care places or wherever her designs are hanging or are seen. You can imagine the feeling that they have, and her feeling, which she will also speak to us, how she feels when she comes to these places. So just stay tuned. We will be back in 1 minute. Hello. This is the show. Who are you? I am your guest. I am your host, Dr. Leah. Today, I'm getting confused with everything. I think I had too many talks, too many meetings that everything just went off. And our guest is Naomi. Naomi is from New York City. Naomi has a very, very beautiful and very empowering story that she's already walked us through halfway. I think it is just quarter way she's walked us through. Naomi is healthcare designer. She is a mother of 4, and she built her business from people who discouraged her. They motivated her indirectly. And her situation, her story empowered her to ensure that she will prove people wrong, that it doesn't matter where you are, you can make it through life. You can push it and you can make it. So we were hanging around how she was able, to come up and to be able to realize that the things that happened in her life were a reason. She didn't understand the reason, but now she sees that they were a reason to help her to move forward, because otherwise she would have been not where she is today. So Naomi, continue. Walk us through the point when you started designing and you decided, I am going to do it in the healthcare and not other places, because there's, many people do, designs, homes, designs, big malls, designs, all those posh things, and you chose healthcare. Why?
Right. Okay. So I actually, in the beginning, when I first started my design business by doing many projects for free of charge, so people can see my talent, and because people are scared to spend money on something and it's take a big risk. So I offered my first few jobs to show what I can do free of charge. And not only, and from that, it just spiraled out, word of mouth. She was, she gave it her all, and she tried to save me money wherever she can. And so in the beginning, I was actually designing everything. I started doing homes, and I started doing offices and restaurants, and just to get the experience and build a portfolio. And if people, I find, and I'm doing this for 15 years, and I did not one time ever put an advertisement out for myself. So all my jobs come from word of mouth. So if you leave somebody happy, they just refer you to their friends, to their colleagues. It's just a ripple effect. So, and I also encourage a lot of people to look inside themselves and see what they can monetize. I feel like God gives every person a certain kind of talent that they could build a business off of. If somebody likes to put on makeup, They could do makeups for weddings. If somebody likes to sew, they could do the gowns, the bridesmaids gowns. Everybody has some kind of talent. If like, and then I tell them sometimes, like I said, if you're good at tinkering, you're good at fixing plumbing or electric. I know so many plumbers and electricians that live in mansions that are so successful and rich. And,
Yeah.
like, look inside you and look what kind of, you look at your calling. So many people have these great ideas and they get knocked down either by like their parents or spouses, that because they want that steady paycheck. Like, so many people, like, they have these great ideas, these men, and they want to open up a business, and then they have their wives pushing them to just stick to their 9-to-5 jobs, just to have that paycheck every 2 weeks. They like the comfort, and the security. And meanwhile, like, some of them are like miserable because they really want to be doing something else. And they're just, so when I see it, so in healthcare, it actually taught me a lot of lessons, because when I walk through these, let's say, assisted livings or nursing homes or hospices, and a very big percentage of these people, it's sad to hear, but this is truth. And I've done like over 87 healthcare projects, so I know what I'm saying. A big percentage of them are miserable. They're not. They're at the end of their lives, and they're not saying, I did everything I always wanted to. I accomplished everything. I fulfilled my dreams. They're not saying that. They're like, I have people coming over to me and say, like, these men, like, would be saying to me, like, oh, you're with the construction crew. Oh, I always wanted to start a construction business, but they never did, like, and then, or I would have like some ladies come over to me. Oh, I love your hair. I always wanted to open up a hair salon. And so why didn't you? Why didn't you? Like, they're full of regrets. They're full of, I should have asked her out. I should have said yes to him. I should have, all these, opportunities that they didn't take. That's what I'm seeing, so when I see a young person, and I see them stuck like a guinea pig in a wheel, just going to work, circle every single day in the same routine, unhappy. I tell them, go out there and follow your gut and do something that you really feel like you always wanted, your calling, like it's inside of you. Don't live a life like this, miserable, dreading to go to work every single day. And there's so many people like that. So everybody I see, like, I try to encourage them, go out there and be brave, take that risk. You don't want to be like all these people I'm seeing, at the end of their lives, so unhappy, so unfulfilled. So it kind of, it teaches me a lesson every time, I walk through another, renovation project, and I see these elderly, and I'm like, I don't want to end up like this, So it kind of gives me the push to push other to get along, get that message out there. That's why I do these podcasts. That's the message I try to get out there. Follow your dreams. It's not just a saying, and not just a slogan. Just be who you always wanted to be.
Awesome. And I just love, the things that you've said, look at your calling, because you can monetize in it. And you've given so many examples, like hairdressing, construction, plumbers. It doesn't matter. It must not be, one of those things that everybody wants to fancy about, but it can be a small thing that can really take you very far. Going out and being brave, just taking that risk, because, and when you said, God gives us talents to put out there, those are, we are not to leave opportunities to go to waste, because that is our purpose. Those are, our works, because when it is in you, it is a passion in you, you can put it out there. And we have great comments. Yeah, Anita says, there is a lot in marketing in healthcare, and she says it's sad, when people really are coming and regretting that they did not accomplish what they really wanted to. They did not live the life that they really wanted you. And God doesn't want us to miss those opportunities, because that is why He has put it in us. That is why He makes it burn in. Tell us, how does it make you feel today when you look at all that you have achieved, and you look back and you say you want to motivate one person today? How and who would that be, in your own words?
Okay, so wait, I want to even go back even further to that question. When you said how I healed, okay, and how I want to motivate people, you have it was all in my mind. It was a change of mindset from me being sad all the time and looking in the past. I would rewind things over and over and over, and I still do many times. And I stop myself. What are you doing? I should have said this to my father. I should have said that to my grandmother. I should have done this. I should have done that. Even rewinding on yesterday, is a waste of time. You have to realize, going back, thinking about the past and analyzing the past, you can't fix it. You can't change it. So what I did was make a firm decision. I'm going to close the door to my past and just focus forward. Even an hour ago, what I can't change. So me going back in my mind and rethinking it and reanalyzing it, it's what for what purpose? You have to put on those horse blinders, and just focus straight ahead, focus on the future. And you can't, and I do it myself when I find myself, falling back and rewinding. I pull myself back, and I say, "Don't go there. No, no purpose, no reason to, just march ahead. Keep on marching. Get up and keep going forward."
And I like what you've said. Get up and keep on marching forward, because you can't change the past, even that 1 second. And I just, I'm so happy that you said, for even not just the past, it's just that 1 second that has just gone. You can't change it, but you can keep on marching forward. You can keep on putting something and doing something, and being able to impact your sphere and changing your mindset. Talk to us about how you are able to change your mindset on a daily basis, and talk to us how you grew gradually your business in the health as a healthcare designer.
Right. So I feel that it's not a one-time thing. I feel like it's a life's work, to keep motivating yourself and keep pulling yourself up. Okay, because life nonstop keeps throwing curveballs at you that you don't even expect. So many things keep happening to try to pull you down. So you have to keep pulling yourself up, keep on motivating yourself. And how I do it myself is, now I have, signs in all my cabinets that I open up my spice cabinet, it says dream big. I open up my medicine cabinet in my bathroom, it says dream bigger. I keep on. It's not just a one-time thing, because life happens, and there's so many things that are going to try to drag you down. So and I constantly, when I'm cooking dinner for my family, I have like a inspirational video on from YouTube. I don't want to waste time just cooking. At the same time, I'm trying to pump myself up, and I also encourage everyone to find a mentor. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
somebody from your high school that's successful, somebody from your town, somebody from your state, anybody that you could relate to, that that you could look at and say, if they did it, I can do it too. And at this exact time in my life when I was when I was getting divorced and thinking what I should do and where I should take my life, that exact time I was on Facebook, and a pop-up, came on. You may know this person, and I saw this professional picture of somebody from high school, and I clicked on him out of curiosity, and I saw all these things that he accomplished in so little time, and I said to myself, oh my God, I accomplished zero in all that time. And look at all these things he did. I was like amazed. I was jealous. I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to become greater than him. I'm going to accomplish even more. So you got to find that mentor that, he did it. I can do it too. So it's somebody that you could relate to, not some celebrity. Somebody that's from, somebody that somebody somebody that you could connect to, somebody maybe that's already doing what you want to be doing. So
And I like what you said, finding somebody you can relate with, because I think many a times people shatter in between, of achieving their goals because they compare themselves with a celebrity who has been in a long run building themselves, building their business, building, their empire. And we begin to compare ourselves with them rather than you compare yourself with somebody you can really relate, somebody you can say, I know this person from zero and now they are here. There's definitely something that happened.
Right. So and also in the beginning, another lesson I learned was when just starting out. Every time like I didn't get a project that I tried for, I used to let it get to me, and I used to cry and get upset. It was like it hurts. Any rejection hurts. But I'm at this point in my life that I understand that the rejection is a good thing. Okay, maybe that was a difficult person that I wouldn't have enjoyed, working with anyways. Maybe the project was meant for another designer because she needs the money more right now. Okay, that's another way of trusting your rejections, that there's something better out there for you, not letting it get you down. You don't get a part in a play that you're trying out for. There's something better. There's a Broadway show waiting there for you. Instead, why are you wasting your time off Broadway? There's a Broadway show. There's so many times where you could just get really down and upset from a rejection. And again, it's like trusting your journey. This was not meant for you. Do not get upset. Do not let it, drag you down. All those tissues, all those tears for nothing. There was a reason. There was a reason why you didn't get it. One door closes, another door opens. So you just have to keep the faith.
That is beautiful. What what you've just said, trusting that there is something better. And because we've always attached rejection to all the negativity and why not. And, the way you say that, trusting that this rejection is saving you from agonies that you'd have otherwise not even be able to comprehend. And you're just going to the best part, to the best Broadway of yourself and of your platform, that you are getting something better than what is, has not worked in this place. Tell us an experience where you experienced that a project came in, you were really vetoing for it, and you really wanted this project, and then it just shattered. And how you handle it. How did you handle it? Because it's easier to say that, rejection is something, it's not as negative as we always say, and look at the positive way, and you will know that there is something better. How did you handle it in a practical way?
Okay, so beginning, of course I look at myself like stupidity. I took it personally, and it hurt, and but like, and now I could take it, because I changed my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I changed my mindset on and focusing on everything in the positivity, So like you said, so I saved myself an agony. I hear from my colleague designers like, oh my God, that contractor, he put me through hell, and I was like, oh my God, that was the job I wanted. But again, like, hooray, I didn't get it. Like, trust, have faith that you got rejected for a reason. God saved you.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Thank you so much. So tell us, what is your legacy?
Oh, well, my legacy. Oh boy, that sound like an 80-year-old. Well, I have. I'll tell you what my legacy is. The secret to my success, I believe, is kindness. Okay. Now, many people have competition in the same field. Okay. And they would never try to help somebody in their own field, because they would think that they would maybe take a job from them, or like they look at everybody as like, again, without having that faith, as competing for the same jobs, and would be competition for you. Now, I have many young designers that they're starting out, and they call me, can I get your advice, or can I watch you work? And I was like, sure, welcoming, of course, come watch, of course, and I help them out with all these sample sets and all these starter kits, and I give them all my contacts, and so these fellow designers, they ask me like, what are you doing? You're training competition for yourself. Why are you helping other people that could be taking a project away from you? So I say, there's no such thing as anybody taking a project away from me. What is meant for me is going to come to me. Okay, me helping out these young aspiring designers that are insecure and they're scared to go out on their own, and me encouraging them that, yes, you can do this, let me help you, is not taking away a thing from me. Okay, and this is what people are, they're scared to share their information or help out their colleague. Like, they see somebody doing something wrong or needs a little help, they wouldn't help, like, they're hoarding their information, because they think somebody's going to take something away from them if they if they help their fellow designer out, let's say, or and so I always say that kindness comes back to you. If you put out kindness, the world is a circle. Everybody talks about karma in a negative sense. It's, oh, you do evil, it's gonna, evil's gonna come to you. But the same thing works with karma, with goodness. You put good out into the world. The good, I feel like all these jobs that they fall from the sky. I don't advertise. How do I get project after project after project? How do all these jobs come to me? So I personally feel it's just out of kindness and helping other designers that it's just the goodness flows back to me. So and this is my favorite story, and I'm happy to retell it because there's so much to learn from it. When I was 19 years old and getting married, then and I didn't have a penny to my name. There was some stranger that heard my story that, I had, no family, and I was in a dire situation, getting married. He called me up, this stranger, and he said, like, "Oh, I own a furniture company, and I want to help you out. I want to give you from my showroom the showroom set I have over here, dinette set and a bedroom set and a couch." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, I'll take it. Sure, thanks." So I get a phone call. It's 26 years later. This happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that gives away my age. Okay. I get this phone call from this young designer from California that she's coming to New York. She wants to know if she could come over and see me work. And I said, sure, of course, come. So she's in town for just 3 days. She says she's visiting family. So she wants, to make the most of her days while they're at work. She wants to spend time and see, how I go about my business. So she's here for 3 days. I'm giving her bags again, like what I like to do. Here's Formica samples, and here's granite chips, and write this number down, and take this contact, and this is who you call for carpet, and this is who you call for vinyl floors, and this is who you call for wood floors, and she's writing everything down and taking notes. And the last day, I asked her, I was like, "Oh, who's your family that you're here to visit?" So she says, "Oh, my parents, Bodner." I said, "Bodner from the furniture store?" "Yes, Bodner from the furniture store." So
Wow.
here I am, all these years later, the guy that helped me out, okay, when I was getting married and gave me that free furniture, here I am training his daughter to become a designer, okay? And the goodness he put out, the kindness came back. All these years later, I didn't know who she was. And I was helping out, his daughter. And so this is how the world works, So I feel like, my legacy is definitely helping others, whether it's designers or just encouraging other people. I just feel like that is my legacy, because I don't it takes so much. I don't charge for all these people constantly coming, and it takes away a lot of my time. It really does. It takes away so much time that I could be working on my own projects that I'm taking out to help other people. And yeah, and so, and I do it out of the goodness of my heart. I get nothing from it, So, so that is, taking my time out to help other people. I think that will be my legacy.
Wow, awesome. I mean, that was just a powerful story to wrap up. It's a powerful, I was just feeling like good people was going, just feeling that shiver going down, because it's so amazing that somebody who helped you 26 years ago, you are
26
now,
when I was 19 years old. Yeah.
and now you're supporting their offspring.
Yes.
And they always say, and there is a very nice worship song that the blessing song, where it says that may God bless you, bless your family, bless your children and their children and their children's children. And it's like, as you bless, you're being blessed, your family is being blessed, and your children are being blessed. And many people don't understand that concept. And I just thank you so much that you've brought that concept so well practically, because you've experienced it. And they always say that you cannot give what you've not experienced. You cannot give what you've not received. And, it doesn't matter where somebody is. We are all in a position of discerning. That is wisdom that we carry with us. And you've given us so much about just that small bit of kindness that goes around, And people, use those words like, karma will come back. What goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. But the power in those words, people forget. Because when you begin to experience that, when you begin to put yourself out there, when you begin to put something out there, it begins to come around. And just many will miss it because they don't see it. They're so busy into their elements. But when you're out there showing that even though I am making something, I am building something, I want to do something better with my life, but I'm still having that place of being kind and supporting and helping, because it will always come, and you've sowed so much seed for your children. You have 4 children. You're sowing something for them because they will also go out there very soon, and they will also be needing support in one way or another, because that is how we humans have been put. We are to be there for one another. You can never be alone. We are never islands. We are people who work together, who are always there to support one another. And we have a lot of people commenting. Anita says, wow, God will reward you abundantly. Ross Kobe says, wow. Hayat Tieno said, awesome. So, your story and your wisdom has really impacted a lot. And it is going to give us a lot of things to be thinking about. So tell us how people can get in contact with you, to work with you, as you continue to motivate them, you continue to grow us, and how also they can work with you, to learn more in your coaching, in your motivation, in your business, however you do your thing.
Okay. So very simple. I have a website, Naomi Mamiye Design, Naomi Design. And I'm on Instagram at Naomi Mamiye Design. I'm on LinkedIn at Naomi Mamiye Design. And you can see my work, my accomplishments there. And if anybody wants to be in contact or needs a little boost of encouragement, I'm here for you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you so much. We've really been blessed. We've really been motivated. And I'm so happy that you showed up. I am so happy that I was able to meet you. Thank you, Facebook.
Yes.
Because, it's just this social media that has brought us together in this, situation. Because and once again, we go back to, things happening. If it was not for the pandemic, we would have never met.
Exactly. Meant to be.
Meant to be. And now the pandemic that has put us locked down, it has enabled us to meet a lot of people, to get to know people's journey, people's life, sharing their experiences. It has enabled us, it has given us time to learn a lot. And we are hoping that we can also learn to implement those things that we are learning, because who knows what is coming to 2021. But the time that we have had in this year, in this lockdown, we've been able to learn a lot and growing with that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. People have been blessed. They've really enjoyed. You've been such an amazing inspiration to all of us. And we are looking forward to bringing you back 2021 to get more of, what you're doing, things that have happened between now and then. And so we say thank you. And thank you so much for all who have been watching with us. Your comments have really been well and warmly appreciated. And we are so blessed that you've been blessed. And until next week, on Friday, we will be meeting again, same time, same platform. I am your host, Dr. Leah, and your guest today was Naomi. We say stay blessed, keep distance, put on your mask, disinfect. We want to go back to the normal. As even though we've learned, the pandemic has been a good cause for us, because we've learned a lot. We've got to meet a lot of people that would have never met. And so thank you to the pandemic as well, but keep safe, because we want to keep so many people healthy, and we want to avoid to have people dying because of the sickness. So stay blessed. Until next week, we say bye-bye.